Proud to serve northeastern and central Pennsylvania. This is WNEP TV 16, the news station. Now, Nolan Johannes, Karen Harch, Jack Ruland in Skycam 16, meteorologist Tom Clark with his backyard forecast, and Tim Carlson Sports. This is Newswatch 16.
Good evening, I'm Karen Harch. Nolan Johannes has the night off. Officials from the Army Corps of Engineers want to keep a closer tab on safety at the Prompton Dam. Newswatch 16's Valerie Devine says they're drilling holes to put new monitoring equipment into the Wayne County Dam.
You may think they're drilling for water, but a Skycam view of the Prompton Dam shows there's no shortage of that. Instead, these men are drilling boreholes some more than 200 feet deep to put in some new equipment that measures the water level. These long pipes are called piezometers.
The water enters through this pipe or through this piezometer and rises to the elevation at which it happens to be at a given time, and we measure that.
The Army Corps of Engineers plans to install 6 new piezometers and add them to the 18 that are already here. This is what they'll look like when they're finished. Now, workmen tell me the ones already installed do their job quite well, but adding 6 new piezometers should help them monitor the dam more efficiently. Dam tender Leonard Burden first came here 23 years ago. Today, he's glad more monitoring equipment is being added to what's already here.
I feel that it's a safety factor. And they should be in there. When I first started here, there wasn't any of these piezometers put in.
Burton says unless there are heavy rains, he checks his monitoring equipment once a month. It'll be another month and a half until this new equipment will be installed and ready for use. Valerie Devine, Newswatch 16, Wayne County.
A new state law takes effect Monday that's designed to make the workplace safer for those who work with chemicals. It's Pennsylvania's Right to Know law, and today AFL-CIO leaders tried to explain it. They unveiled a label for substances used on the job that shows which chemicals they contain and what hazard they pose.
Pennsylvania law requires chemical manufacturers to put the exact chemical identity on the label. Company and brand names which obscure the chemical real identity will no longer be sufficient.
There are 2,000 chemicals considered by the state to be hazardous. By Monday, they'll be labeled with hazard warnings and telephone numbers for the chemical makers in case of emergency. State officials say the Chi-Chi's restaurant chain has agreed to pay a $30,000 fine for child labor law violations. The Department of Labor and Industry charged the Kentucky-based company with nearly 200 violations at its restaurant in Bucks County. The violations include allowing teenagers to work without certification, illegal working hours, and not giving workers enough rest. It's the second time Chi-Chi's restaurants in Langhorne is being cited for child law violations. Chi-Chi's has 12 restaurants in the state, including one in Allentown. The people who work for Consolidated Cigar in Pittston will have a long commute if they want to continue working for the cigar maker. Consolidated says today it will move its operations to its plant in Schuylkill County. The company says sales are down and excess plant capacity are forcing it to consolidate operations at the McAdoo plant. The company released a brief statement saying the move will happen in the next 90 days and that most workers at the Luzerne County plant will be able to transfer to Schuylkill County. When Newswatch 16 continues, Action 16 looks through a contact lens problem for a Luzerne County viewer. Plus, digging into the past in 40 Fort, we'll show you what archaeologists have found.
If you're not burning your wood stove anymore because it's too much work, consider an Alaska Stoker stove. Our new Stoker stove Castile has a cast iron look that can be used in front of a fireplace or replace any freestanding stove. All Stoker stoves are totally automatic, and every Alaska Stoker stove can burn 3 days with one refill. Now that's convenience. See one burning today.
Lifestyles of the rich and thrifty. They save on gasoline by pumping their own, and they shop the Town and Country Furniture Midsummer Sale, where they save on Henredon, Pennsylvania House, and Century in the new Century Gallery. You too can save with the rich and thrifty at Town and Country Furniture, Wilkes-Barre's best during their Midsummer Sale, now in progress.
Imagine going back in time in your own backyard. It may never have crossed your mind that ancient artifacts from bygone civilizations may be under your backyard. Well, a group of citizens in 40 Fort is digging into Luzerne County's past. And Newswatch 16's Melissa Sander is there now to tell us what they found. Melissa?
Well, Karen, it may not look like it. It's very dry. There are a lot of weeds here, but this is an archaeological dig that I'm sitting on right now. About 300 yards up that way is the Wyoming Valley Airport in 40 Fort. 300 yards back this way is the Susquehanna River. Now, this whole thing started in the summer of 1985 when a group of local amateur archaeologists found out that the county had plans to build a playing field here and said, wait, before you construct that, let us give it a go and do a little digging around first.
It's a piece of powder. Here's the inside. It's curved. It's very smooth on the inside. Here's your side view. This is the outside.
For the past 2 years, John Orlandini has patiently tooled the soil. The process has been slow, but not without its reward. Orlandini believes this whole area was populated by fishing and hunting Indians from the Clemson Island near Harrisburg, some 1,000 years ago.
We're standing right in the middle of a village site. We could be out in like a courtyard. We could be we're right in somebody's bed right now. This is the actual habitation level. The darker circle you see out in the middle there, that is a fire pit. Now, if you observe it very closely, there's charcoal in it. There's little pieces of pottery, burnt bone, and so forth. Now, this is where they cooked, they skinned the game, and so forth, and all the activity of normal day life took place here.
Picking and tooling the soil, unearthing evidence of a wall. It's like finding a treasure.
See the charcoal here?
Yeah?
Okay, that is a post mold. See it? It's a black, and all around it is tan, see?
Now, John Orlandini told me he's not sure just how much longer this archaeological dig is going to keep going. He knows it's going to end someday, and he also knows that he'll be forever wondering what else he might have found in these untouched fields out here. Karen?
Well, Melissa, you mentioned something about a playing field there. Are they still going to build that or keep on digging?
Well, I spoke with some borough officials today who told me that if and when a playing field is built, it's been 2 years in the semi-planning so far. If and when one is built, it won't be right on this site.
Okay, preserving the past. Thanks, Melissa. A Luzerne County viewer was going in circles trying to get a defective contact lens replaced, so she finally turned to Action 16 for help. Jerry Gartenberg looked into the problem when all she had were promises from a local company.
They told me initially a replacement lens would be 7 to 10 days.
But it took the State Optical Store in Scranton nearly 2 months to replace Cheryl Miller's damaged contact lens with a new one, and then only after the Duryea viewer contacted Action 16. Before that,
they did offer to loan me a clear lens. However, my lens is soft green, and I didn't want to walk around with 2 colored eyes. And
so Miller wore her glasses, all the while wondering why she couldn't get a clear reading from State Optical in Scranton on the whereabouts of the replacement lens she'd purchased.
They told me that it was a back order. They told me they didn't know. They told me that it could have been lost. They told me they were going to reorder it.
But contact lens manufacturer Bausch & Lomb tells me at that point it had no order from State Optical. It says a month and a half later, when the order came in, it sent out the lens. State Optical blames poor record-keeping by one of its employees for the delay. To make up for Cheryl Miller's wait, State Optical promised to send her an extra replacement lens. But guess what? Miller didn't get that lens for a month. And while she was waiting, I told a State Optical official what she had been through. He sent her a free pair of contacts, so now she has 2 pair and a replacement lens on top of that. Now, folks, I think you ought to insist on getting what you pay for, getting it on time, and getting a clear explanation for any problem. But if you are not getting what you think you deserve, you ought to get out a letter to me, Jerry Gartenberg, right here at Action 16. We're at Box 16 in Avoca, Pennsylvania, and our zip is 18641. Karen?
Okay, thanks, Jerry. And the Weather Watch is next with Tom Clark, and we're looking ahead to the weekend.
Yeah, we are. Boy, if it stays like today.
Oh, that would be great.
That'd be nice. Well, when we come back, we'll be talking about a chance of rain on the Weather Watch. Now, you're watching Newswatch 16 on WNEP TV, and we're proud to serve Rivercrest and all of Wyoming County.
Double bacon cheeseburger, chili dog, large fries, and a diet soda. Turkey squares and a very fine apple juice. I'll make that, too.
Very fine. No chemical additives.
What? Oh, so I'm a junk food junkie. You?
No artificial flavors.
No. Well, okay. Well, tomorrow, I will run with you.
No added sugar.
I'm serious. I'm serious. What time? 6. All right. 6:30.
Pure fruit juice.
You know, I feel better already.
Feel good
I
with
do.
Very Fine.
Lifestyles of the rich and thrifty. They save on gasoline by pumping their own. And they shop the town and country furniture midsummer sale, where they save on Henredon, Pennsylvania House, and Century in the new Century Gallery. You too can save with the rich and thrifty at Town and Country Furniture, Wilkes-Barre's best during their midsummer sale, now in progress.
If you use the Falls River Bridge in Wyoming County, you may want to listen up. PennDOT will hold a public meeting about the bridge at 7 tonight at the Falls Township building. PennDOT wants to fix up the span across the Susquehanna River. Officials want to tell you about their plans and ask for input from drivers who use the Falls River Bridge in Wyoming County. Well, the backyard seems a little bit dry in spots, so Tom says we could use some rain, right?
That's right, Karen. The lawn going off color just a little bit in the exposed areas. A lot of evaporation on days like today with low humidity and that strong sun and just a slight breeze. But it sure has been nice. However, we will be going downhill just a bit weather-wise through the day tomorrow. And the weekend is shaping up to be pretty good at this point. We'll be more specific in just a moment. Beginning in Columbia County tonight, in Denmar Gardens, George Baylog tells me 82 in his backyard now. Michael Charles checks in with 79 in Williamsport, and Mike Cattell tells me 78 in Wyoming Borough now, and it is beautiful. And speaking of beautiful, there's a view from Skycam 16 today over the scenic Endless Mountains in Wyoming County. Out back, 76 degrees. Check out that humidity, 39%. The wind from the south at 7, the barometer falling from 30.02. The high temp here today, 78, but we tied the record low this morning. Last set back in 1978, 52. I had 45 at my place. We had some reports of 40 in some of the cold spots at dawn today. 96 the record high, and 84 the high 1 year ago. Checking Skywatch 16's Doppler radar, there are no thunderstorms being detected across the state of Pennsylvania at this hour. It is dry within 250 miles in all directions tonight. Here's a view of our lovely planet as it looked late this afternoon from the weather satellite. And it looks beautiful out over the Atlantic Ocean, across central South America and much of the good old US of A. There is a tropical storm by the name of Greg over the Pacific Ocean, and he's packing winds of up to 60 miles per hour, and it is forecasted to become a hurricane over the next couple of days as it heads westward over the Pacific Ocean. Now, on this date, in the year 2061, Halley's Comet will come closest to the Earth on its next return trip to the Sun. And the view is supposed to be much better than it was last time. And if I live to be 109, I just may have a chance of seeing it again. Here's our view from over the U.S. this afternoon. Some clouds, now upwind. A weak storm coming down out of Ontario. And you can see the clouds, and that'll be the conditions here tomorrow. Clouding up just a bit, and there may be a few showers around the area, especially tomorrow afternoon, but I don't expect anything too heavy. And then as we head into the coming weekend, warmer air is going to be moving in from the west, and looks pretty clean. Just a few clouds around, but at this point it should be a pretty nice weekend with temperatures getting back up to near normal. But over the next couple of days, we're going to be staying comfortably cool once again. Tonight, another starry night overhead, the crescent moon in the west. It will begin to cloud up, I think, like after 2 a.m., but a good night for sleeping. 57 in Rivercrest, Hobby 55, near 60 in Palo Alto, 59 in Faxton, and a south wind overnight tonight. It'll be light. Tomorrow morning, the sun will rise at 5:58, and the set time is 8:23 tomorrow evening. Mostly clear overnight, clouding up towards daybreak, 58 for the low. Probably a dry start tomorrow, but a shower anytime after 10:30 in the morning. They'll be widely scattered, and again, nothing too heavy. Then on Friday, it looks pretty good, becoming mostly sunny, a dry day, and we've lowered the temperatures just a bit on Friday, about 77 for the high, but comfortable humidities heading into Saturday, but should be a partly cloudy, dry day on Saturday. And then on Sunday, mostly sunny skies and 83 degrees, our projection for now. So Karen, Believe it or not, the 1st of August is Saturday.
I know, it's going by so quickly.
There goes summer.
Yes, thanks, Tom. Tim Carlson is next with the Sports Watch, and the Yankees playing afternoon baseball. Plus an area man who's been calling balls and strikes for more than a half-century.
Good furniture care with decorator Ann McKenzie.
Hi. A client asked, how can I tell if my furniture has wax buildup? Well, if you use spray wax frequently, like for everyday cleaning, chances are you've got wax buildup. So use spray wax only occasionally to polish. For day-to-day cleaning, use Endust. It has no wax buildup. After cleaning your best with spray wax, spray Endust. If your cloth gets dirty, you've got wax buildup. So use spray wax only for occasional waxing. Use Endust for day-to-day cleaning.
Hills is a place for kids.
For back to school.
Hills has loads of jeans for kids. Like boys and girls stonewashed denims. You could pay more elsewhere, but at Hills, $7.97 each every day. That's an exceptional value. And they're just part of Hills' selection of kids' jeans. One of the biggest selections of jeans anywhere.
Because next to low prices, clothing is our claim to fame.
Check us out. Better hurry to your Toyota dealer. There's a huge selection, big savings, but not much time. Looking to save on Toyota's lowest price Tercel? No problem. Want to save on Camry, Celica, Corolla, MR2? No problem. Save on limited edition trucks and get $650 worth of options free. No problem. Hurry to your Toyota dealer now for selection, deals, and no problem.
Hang out with the Monkees on Entertainment Tonight.
Real nice afternoon for afternoon baseball.
Yeah, I think it was bat and ball day at Yankee Stadium today. The
Oh,
kids got
I
a bat
missed
and a
it.
ball. No, just kids,
Just
Karen.
kids, 12 and
Okay.
under. yeah.
Right, okay. I mean, even we know that you and I are not 12 and under anymore. The Yankees got some real good pitching from 3 guys, along with some late-inning offense to knock off the Kansas City Royals at Yankee Stadium this afternoon. We'll pick it up right here. Bo Jackson, you know, the guy's a butcher in the outfield. Look at this. He turns the Gary Ward fly ball into an adventure. He makes the catch. Get him out of there. Let him play football. The game was scoreless until the 7th. Mike Pagliarulo with a sac fly. It'll score Don Mattingly as, once again, Jackson makes it look like an adventure, and it's 1-0 Yanks. The Yanks broke it open in the next inning. Watch Bo Jackson. He turns the fly ball into a double that cleared the bases. 3-run score, and it's 4-0 Yankees. Dave Righetti came in to close it out with his 19th save. He struck him out, and the Yanks win at 4-0. Let's go to the scoreboard. Yankees win at 4-0. By the way, in that game, Steve Trout, who the Yanks got from the Cubs just a little while ago, he scattered 3 hits over 6 innings, and Kansas City has now lost 16 of their last 20 and 12 out of their last 13 road games. In the 6th inning now, Seattle leads Minnesota by a score of 7-2. A final, California over Oakland 5-4. Significantly in that game, Mark McGwire of the A's hit his 37th home run, ties a record for rookies set in 1950 by Cleveland's Al Rosen. The Major League rookie record, by the way, is 38 by Frank Robinson in 1956 and Wally Berger of the Boston Braves in 1938. And he'll probably do that later in the week. National League scoreboard, Montreal over the Cubs by a score of 11-3. You know what I think is tough? Being an umpire in one of the local softball leagues around here. I mean, really, for the amount of money the umps get paid, they take a lot of grief. Well, believe it or not, there's a man from this area who's been calling balls and strikes for more than a half a century. Albie Oxenreiter takes us to watch this amazing man work behind the plate.
Right. His real name is Arthur Hoffman, but everyone who knows this umpire simply calls him Whitey.
I really enjoy it as much as the first day I started. When I started, I really love baseball. I think it's the cleanest game in the morning.
For 53 of his 85 years, Whitey's lived a game he loves. And by watching him work, it's easy to see why he's still around.
Well, I think the Yanks should win by 12 or 15, but that don't look like they'll be lucky to win. Right.
To put in perspective just how long 53 years is, when Whitey began umpiring back in 1934, FDR was president. It happened one night, won an Oscar for Best Picture, and Adolf Hitler became the Fuhrer of Germany.
When I get to the ball field, it makes me feel younger. And I like to meet people, and I see a lot of the fellas that their fathers. I played with their fathers. A lot of these youngsters.
It's a pleasure working with them because there's no hassles. These guys don't hassle him because he's been around for a long time. More than these guys are old. In fact, 2 and 3 of them put together.
Oh, I have a real lot of respect for Whitey. A real lot. Like I said, I've known him 17 years. I started playing in 1970, and he's still around, and I'm still around. But he's been a long time an umpire. I say he's one of the best in the league.
But baseball isn't the only constant in Whitey's life. He's lived in the same house since birth, and he's been married to the same woman for 52 years. Whitey, how long do you think you'll keep on umpiring?
Oh, if I can keep my mind active enough and my legs will be the first thing to go for me. So it's a day-to-day thing.
Strikes now, Dave. Pitch. Right. Pitching, Dave. Got the corner now. Albie Oxenrider, Sports Watch 16, Dunmore.
I like that. Steve Reich. By the way, Don Baylor of the Boston Red Sox says he wants to join Bill Buckner, wants to get out of Boston now. He's mad about not being played all the time. Says, trade me, play me, get me out of here. Baylor's 38 years old, making $1 million.
Not too much to complain about there, I'd say.
But even he can't get a bat and ball at Yankee Bat Day. He's too old,
He's too old, too. Thanks, Tim. When Newswatch 16 continues, we'll meet Chips, a dog who is a shining example of the phrase, man's best friend.
Look for the Sure Save stamp of approval, and you'll find great weekly specials like these.
Sweet seedless grapes, 69 cents a pound. Grade A chicken breast, 99 cents a pound. Turkey Hill ice cream, half-gallon round, $2.29. And buy one, get one free family pack tasty cakes.
When you want the very best, look for Sure Save.
Look for the Sure Save stamp of approval at a locally owned supermarket near you.
When America was young, beer was something special, brewed in small batches by small brewers all across the land. Only one remains, Yuengling. That's right, 5 generations of the Yuengling family have been helping us quench our thirst since 1829. What a tradition. What a great beer. America's oldest is still America's best. Yuengling.
Finally tonight, national recognition for an area dog named Chips. The little guy today received the Stillman Award for saving his owner's life. It's the highest award given by the National Humane Association. And Newswatch 16's Mark Davis has the story of Chips the hero.
Most any day you can find Chips playing on the floor of Leonard Wood's Beauty Salon on South Main Street in Wilkes-Barre. But last March, Chips did something a little different.
He was acting strange. I mean, he might bark during the night, but this was very unusual that he would. It was a yelping bark, really to alert me, and hitting the mattress and then running.
This is why Chips was so upset. The building just a few feet from where Leonard Woods was sleeping was on fire. Flames and smoke quickly ate up the building, and Chips wanted to make sure that Leonard was awake.
Because there was a good 10 minutes before somebody was pounding on the door, and probably by that time I would have been overcome.
Chips was awarded a special citation by the Luzerne County SPCA, and now has been given the Stillman Award from the American Humane Association of Denver, Colorado, recognizing Chips for saving Leonard's life. Leonard Woods has been in business for nearly 25 years and continues thanks to Chips.
As they said, if he learns how to do hair, I've had it.
Mark Davis, Newswatch 16, Wilkes-Barre.
Good boy, Chips. And that's Newswatch 16 for this Wednesday. Be sure to join us tonight on Newswatch 16 Update when we'll tell you what PennDOT plans to do with that bridge in our area that's used by a lot of drivers. World News Tonight is next for the team, including Nolan, who has this night off. Thanks for joining us. Enjoy your evening.